Okay, so first we have a depreciation example, 16% per year. Determine the value of the car after 2 years. So in this case, we just want the value of the car. That's the ultimate goal. Grab a pen or a marker or something. Yeah. So year one, watch for the percentages. Sometimes it's 16% the first year, 10% the second year. Just make sure you understand that. 8320. I'll give you 1 mark today for that, for the 8320 showing up there. Take that away. So for year 2, you have 43,680. We repeat the process, and you get 69,8880. You'll get a mark for that too, that you've calculated. So if you made a mistake up in first year, don't take off another mark if I can see the process, right? If I can see what you're doing, something went wrong up top. So I would say this: if I see the work and you're missing a 0 or something, I can clearly tell that's just a half off. If it doesn't make any sense, then it's usually -1. And so now the one last step would be to subtract the 69,8880 from year 2. And so you get 36,691 and 20 cents. Okay. So that is your third mark in this particular question. Oh, and don't forget your $sign. The final answer has to have a $sign. If not, take off half, put a U in front of it for units, and then you know you need to take off. So give yourselves a mark out of 3 for question 1. Next, we're buying a used car. So used car at a dealership, there's a base price, and there's a trade-in. Calculate the price after tax. So it's used dealer. In this case, the sticker is just the entire price. We take off the trade-in. We multiply this by 1.12. Sorry, I shouldn't go. We'll go underneath here. That's 16,500 times 1.12. You get a mark if I see 16,500 already. And then you get your second mark from applying taxes to that, which is 18,480. I will say this: if you apply taxes, you get 1 out of 2 for sure. Even if you made a mistake earlier, you didn't take off the trade-in. A common mistake is that the trade-in is subtracted after taxes have been added. That is a -1, right? So it's important to first take off the trade-in, then you figure out your taxes. Okay, so 2 marks for that. 2 marks for question 2. Next, we want to finance over 4 years, right? So loan situation, there's a down payment that is going to be applied. There's the price of the car, total purchase price, that's already including tax, interest rate, and so let's figure this out. So for your payment, I go 39,700 minus 12,000. And I multiply what remains by a table rate. You will get a mark for this table rate. If there's ever a table on the provincial exam, you get a mark just for getting it. So 575 meets 4 years. So 4 years, 575, 2343. So if I see you having 2343 here, you get the mark for that, just for getting that number. I will just subtract this once. You get 27,700 times 2343 over 1,000, and now you do the calculator part, right? You divide this, multiply it. So your payment is 649 and 1 cent. Sorry about that. You can't really see that, right? Sorry. $649 and 1 cent is your monthly payment. Okay. Total interest. It's this one, 649.01 times 12 times 4, it's 4 years, not 5, right? Minus, I'm going to subtract the 27,700. That is the amount borrowed. You crunch the numbers, you get 31,152.48 minus 27,700. You get a total of 34,52.48. So you get a mark for doing this correctly. Mm-hmm.
Last question. Do we get a mark if you get the answer right?
This answer?
No, the last one. Right.
This one?
You do get a mark if you get that right.
So you get a mark for the 2343 and another mark for calculating this. So yeah, if you have 649.01, then you get the mark, 2 marks. Yeah. So you just have that part. That's actually a good point. I would say this one is a 2-mark question, so let's cross that out. So if you just did the first part, I'll tell you what this would have been on the provincial. They would give you half, and 1 for subtracting. So you get 0.5 out of 2 if all you did was this first part right here. So you get half for this chunk, you get half for this showing up, and then you get a full mark for subtracting. Okay, so half, 1. Yeah, that's a good point. Calculate the interest paid on the first month. First month only, you take your loan, you multiply it by the interest rate divided by 100, which would be 0.0575. All of that divided by 12. This one is 1 mark. It's basically all or nothing. So this times this divided by 12, you get 132.73. Next, calculate managed payment and total interest. If you had a $20,000 down payment instead. Okay, so for the payment, you would go 39,700 minus 20,000. You still pay 23.43 because the interest rate and the amount of time hasn't changed. So this would be 19,700 times 23.43. This is over 1,000, okay? So your payment would be 461.57. We'll give you 1.5 marks for this one. Let me just bring that up a bit. And total interest, how is that going to change? The first part changes in terms of your payment is now this times 12 times 4 minus, what are you going to subtract in this case? What was your loan in this circumstance? 19,700. So when you do this, when you run it, I'm just going to go, this is 22,155.36 minus 19,700. You paid 24.55.36 in interest. How much did you save in interest approximately? If you compare it to the previous, you almost saved $1,000 on interest by just applying a higher down payment. Okay, and your payment went down, right? You used to have a $649 a month payment. Now it came down to that. So this is also 1.5. So 1.5, 1.5. Okay. I would say if you did a significant amount of work, you get at least 1 out of 3. Even if it's not jiving. If you did work there, I'll give you 1 out of 3 today. So don't give yourself zeros unless it's like blank, basically, because I want you to try it. Okay. It's basically what I want you to do. Try every time, give it a try, see what you got. I like fishing, and I like fishing for marks, so for the most part. Okay. Good job, guys.